God is a universal concept. Religion is a man-made construct, and I'm done with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm done with it. And
I just like, if you really want to get technical, the Bible says that every 7 years you're not supposed to pay taxes, okay? But nobody wants to listen to me when I say that.
yeah.
I'm all right with that. I'm fucking totally okay with that.
Well, the IRS
The Bible
doesn't agree,
finally
Chris.
Well, the IRS can suck my fucking dick too.
You know, I mean...
I don't mean that because they gonna come get their
Yeah,
money.
they're going to come get their money.
If you listen on the IRS,
that's
I was
what-
just playing.
I literally can't wrap my head around, because the same people that are like okay with everything, the Bible, like the same scriptures they use to beat homosexual people just to death with, talk about things they do every day. You're working on your 5th divorce, Fred. What? But let's talk about the sanctity of marriage.
But let's try to pray the gay away.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross, and I don't understand how they don't see the hypocrisy. Like, there's someone in my family, and that's all I'm gonna say about that, who's been married a lot.
Is it?
Not a long time. A lot
I
of
wasn't going to
times.
say his name.
No,
I'm saying not married a long time. A lot of times.
Well,
Yeah.
quantity over quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, and they're very religious, and
That
they're
seems to have worked out well for him.
Yeah.
well, it has. It's been very lucrative.
Monetarily,
And-
yeah.
And I've actually lived the traditional family value. I've been married to the same man for 30 years. I've raised children, grandchildren, you know. But I'm the pariah. It's like, what the fuck? According to
That's why, right there, because you said fuck.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
like according to
If that's the
You're going to hell for saying fuck.
if that's the demarcation line, I'm bad fuck.
Because you have to
Yeah,
give
me
enough
too.
money to the church so you can build another
Yeah,
annex.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And I'm like, no, fuck that. God will measure me, and I am not fucked up about it. See, I said it again. I don't care. I'm not scared. God will weigh the contents of my heart and my character, and I'm
Against a
cool
feather.
with it. And I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right.
Like Anubis.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You know,
If you were Egyptian, contents of your heart against a feather.
I know.
And you get to see Anubis, the dog man.
that would be fun.
I think so
would,
too.
like,
I think it'd be really cool.
I would want to pet him.
I bet he wouldn't want you to. Who'd you get Anubis?
His finger on the feather scale. Like,
He's like, oh, this bitch did not.
With a straight face.
I'd be like, oh, who wants a good one? You know, but really, I mean, being observant of stupid, arbitrary rules don't make you a good person, and I don't care what you say, you're never going to convince me of that. And
That's why I try to go by the Big Ten.
well, yeah, I mean, I just like, God gave me this wrinkly old brain because He wants me to reason. He gave me this big old.
That's always been a thing for me. Why did we have such a capacity for introspection and creativity of thought and all of this if God doesn't want us to think about anything?
because
And here's
it's
the
not
deal.
God.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you listen to the preachers, you're not supposed to question
He
any of
gave
it.
me this big old brain because He wants me to think it through, because I personally believe if you don't think it through and you just blindly swallow, that's not faith, that's fear. And I also believe He gave me this big bleeding heart because He wants me to put it in practice. He doesn't want me to sit at a comfortable distance and keep but I, by the letter of the law, was a good person. Fuck that. I tried it. I tried so hard to fit in that box. We all did. We all tried so hard to fit in that box. And the box is what's broken.
Yeah.
I think, I was having this conversation. I'm like, God is all knowing, right? I was talking to my manager because her and I, we're actually pretty close. I said, God is all knowing, right? She was like, yeah. I said, okay, so then nobody should really be going to hell because God already knew what we were going to do anyway.
I've had this discussion with, and they can't ever answer me, and they're like,
with a certain preacher.
yeah, with
Well,
you as a
they'll say, well, it's free will. That doesn't change what I said, though.
it doesn't.
Right.
Because if I've got free will, but God is omniscient,
He knew what I was going to say and do.
all-knowing?
Yeah.
Then He already knew the decision I was going to make, which actually means I didn't have free will. It was more fate or destiny. So
He also told Brandy when she asked, well, first his his when he was preaching about what do you call them, clickers,
The poppers and the clippers.
poppers and clickers.
Oh God, that was so fucking
and when Brandy
disrespectful.
asked about her Indian, American Native ancestors not knowing about God, would they go to hell? He straight up told her yes.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why he did that sermon, was because she asked.
Because I said, the thing that I've never been able to reconcile is if you say, and I've been taught this since I was a child, that if I don't, accept Jesus into my heart, then I'm going to go to hell. But all my ancestors never heard the word Jesus, never knew the word Jesus. So you're telling me they're burning in hell for the crime of not knowing? And he was like, yep. And I'm like, I call bullshit.
Yeah.
That's so insane. That's absolutely insane.
But he literally, instead of really thinking about it and trying to give me a measured response, he was more interested in maintaining the appearance of control over his little flock so they wouldn't go, because he didn't want my questioning to become contagious.
Me and Brandy asked too many questions.
Yeah.
They actually told our husbands, y'all
Y'all need to get them under control.
No, they didn't tell me. They told your husband.
Because you were in the men's group.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would have straight up told him.
I told him too. I said, have you met her?
Yeah. I was about to say, have you ever met my wife? I don't tell her to do any fucking thing.
And I think I said, and I don't have an issue with anything she said. So
I might suggest, but that's as far as that's going to fucking go.
Ross
You need to shut the fuck up. You don't sleep with her, so fuck off.
Ross came home and he was like, apparently I need to get you under the thumb.
Right.
Do what?
Miss Amber, and Miss Brandy, like, that's right. No.
You should have seen their faces when they got fucking told that too. Holy fuck!
You know what's funny? Because I'm technical, so IAN at the end of any word means to be like, right? So
Yep.
Christian means to be
like Christ.
To be like me.
So
okay, no, hold on. When my name comes up on some caller IDs, it says Christ.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, because it doesn't do the full Christopher. It just stops at Christ.
So if you call yourself
Alexis's
Christian,
boyfriend wants to
right?
be like me.
That is hilarious. So if you are Christian, that means you are like Christ. However, some of the most horrific crimes
have been committed in the name of Christ.
In the name of Christ.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, one of the Big Ten says don't use Lord's name in vain. That's actually what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're not talking.
They don't mean saying goddamn.
Yeah, they're not talking about saying goddamn, because God's not his name.
Yeah.
It's not anybody's name.
God is a title.
Yeah, exactly. God's a title. What they're talking about is doing shit like the Catholic Church did with the Crusades and
doing things in his name.
not insurrection, Inquisition, and the witch
burning
trials,
and the witches,
and all of that. When they dismantled the Aztec Empire because they wouldn't convert and all of this other.
Taking the Lord's name in vain.
The Lord's name in vain, because whenever the fucking church wanted something, they'd say, "Oh, well, it's God's will." Nah, you're a fucking greedy bitch. That wasn't God. That was
they're
you,
not ready to hear that.
No, that's a conversation that they don't want to have.
And
So then what is a sin? Like, what truly is a sin?
to me, a sin is cruelty's a sin. To me, like, have you ever seen that thing on Facebook that says, I find it really telling what people consider profane? Like, I see that. I've seen it a lot, and I've shared it a lot, because God knows I have a potty mouth, and I've had a potty mouth since I was like 7 at the very least. I was
7 weeks.
like, my first word was probably "fuck this," but I've had a potty mouth and a rebellious streak my entire life. But I don't think, again, that's who God clearly made me to be, was a questioner, and I don't know if he really designed me to cuss this much, but I found my niche and I ran with it. But
Find something you're good at and never do it for free.
Yeah, and so, but I mean, that's not profane. Hurting people, using your power to hurt people,
abusing people that can't defend themselves,
or animals. To me, that's profane. Using money or power or physical strength to victimize or degrade somebody else. That's profane. Me saying fuck is just colorful language. You know,
I like to call them conversation enhancers.
Yeah, you know. And like, I'll never forget when the day my mom died.
Oh God!
My political leanings were brought up in the room.
What the fuck? Why? Of all the goddamn times to bring it up,
who do you think? Really, think about it.
By a very religious member. And my,
because you know he's a douchebag.
my ongoing battle with Mr. Rapert was actually a topic of conversation the day my mom died in the room, and I was like,
because he's buddies with the person she's talking about.
And I was like,
of course he is. That makes sense.
Everything I said, I stand by, and I was like, what's more, that woman right there, my mom, our mom,
thought he was a douche too.
Felt the same way, you know. If you knew her, you know that, you know, and it's like, you know, I don't give a fuck what a thing looks like. I give a fuck what it is, and that's kind of the that's where the dividing line with a lot of people are. Some people are really, really, really worried about how it looks. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, Chloe, one of the things that Senator Rapert. This will give you an example of...
His name really sounds like Raper.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if the T is silent.
Anyway, one of the things he did was to, push hard to get a Ten Commandments statue on the Capitol grounds.
Why?
Then it got ran over, and he threw a fit and pushed hard to get it back up. But then when a certain group came along and said, okay, well, you put that up on the Capitol grounds. We want to put a statue of Baphomet up on the Capitol grounds.
And he was like,
well, here's the deal. If you when you involve government and you let one group do it, you gotta let the other group do it too.
I want to get a statue of Thor's hammer put up there.
Hey, I'm cool with that. I like Thor. Thor's awesome.
I would worship me some Thor.
But I mean,
or maybe like Odin's fucking spear.
Like, I could totally re-examine my issue with religion for a minute for that.
But I mean, honestly, this guy's so stupid. He doesn't see where the issue was. Well, he's in the right, so he should just get what he wants.
Yeah, it's like, well, I got the right of the Christ and the... Shut up. If like actual Christ...
That'd be funny. You don't have legal standing.
Yeah, no.
If actual Christ came down and stood in front of his face, him and most of the people that talk about Christ would spit in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know him. I'm like, have you... This Jesus you talk about, do you know anything about him?
Have you read about him at all?
Like,
Okay. I think there's supposed to be that separation of church and state, right?
Right.
It's literally written. But where and when did the two become joined? You understand what I'm saying? It's like let's just take it back to politics. Every political candidate has a pastor now. You swear upon the Bible. You want to get endorsed by this church.
Well,
and this
because
church.
it brings followers.
Well, people have a problem voting for someone that they think doesn't have some sort of religion. And you know, I mean,
because they take that, well, they're religious, so they must have values.
Right, and they're not. People think they're synonymous, and they're not.
Yeah, they're absolutely not.
You know,
some of the nicest people don't have a religion. To me.
Well, and I have a lot of friends that are atheist and agnostic, and like their whole thing is, look, if you have to have the fear of hellfire to make you be a good person, you're not really a good person. You're just afraid of punishment. And there's a lot of logic to that. I mean, I'm not saying
Well, the problem
I'm
that
not
I
going to
have
say
with
all Christians are like that, because they're not. But
the problem I have with atheists, though, is 95% of them. Number one, atheism is in fact a religion. They may not believe in God, but they do believe in something. But 95% of them just want to tell you how dumb you are because you believe in God. I don't have fucking time for that.
I don't
I'm not going to fucking listen
that's
to
true.
I heard it from Fuckboy.
You heard it from a person.
Yeah, but I've seen video of a lot more. And granted, that isn't a cross section of all the atheists in the world.
No, it's just like
but
we've been saying before.
the loud
extremist.
Because I mean, most of the ones I know personally are very like, it's cool as long as you don't beat me up with your religion. I'm not going to, care. They want to be left alone. I'm not an atheist because I do deeply believe